Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Pound and I have another video for you from chapter 1.3 on taxonomy from Purposeful Design Life Science. So today's topic is going to be from section 133 on bacteria and archaea. Our objectives today are going to be to compare and contrast bacteria and archaea and recognize the important role that all organisms are given in God's world. So the first thing we have to know is that these two domains contain what are called prokaryotes. These are unicellular organisms that lack a distinct nucleus. So when we talked about cells, these do not have a nucleus. Their genetic material is just floating around in the cytoplasm, okay? So that is one thing that these two domains have in common. And when we talk about these domains too, we have to realize that especially the bacteria. Now, this is a prokaryotic unicellular organism belonging to the domain bacteria. Bacteria are really common. In fact, if you were to just look in a soil, a teaspoon of soil has like billions of bacteria in it. They're really small, they're really common, and they're probably, as far as different types of species, one of the most numerous things on our planet. In fact, we do not know how many different kinds of bacteria there are on our planet. They are just so common. In fact, in your body alone, there are 10,000 different species of bacteria living in your body. And one thing we have to realize is that some of these bacteria are harmful, but many of them are also helpful. And we'll be discovering in future chapters that. We use bacteria actually to make some foods for us and things. So they are really common and they're not all harmful. We have this reaction to bacteria like, oh, we're going to get sick from all of them. But no, that is not true. In fact, if you were to scrape in your mouth, let me look it up here. Um, just on the film, like along your gums and everything, you would just from scraping there would be like a billion bacteria from scraping like along your gums and on your teeth. So they are very numerous and all over the place. Now, archaea are a prokaryotic unicellular organism belonging to the domain archaea. Now, the difference here is they have different structures. Actually, archaea used to be with bacteria in a kingdom, but when they discovered they had different structures, they actually created the domains. Um, and these are bacteria-like organisms with a different structure from bacteria that tend to live in extreme conditions, like this hot spring. That's why I have a picture of this. All of these colorful things here, these are archaea making this colorful. And they are bacteria-like organisms living in the hot springs. So they live like in hot springs, they live at the top of mountains, they live in mud where you're not getting oxygen, they live in very salty environments. These are the types of things that would live at the deep sea vents, okay, is where they live. And we have identified about 500 species of archaea, but it's believed that there are many more that we have not discovered yet. So similarities between these two domains is that they are unicellular and prokaryotic, meaning they don't contain a nucleus, but they have different structures, so they belong to different domains. And remember, the archaea tend to live in extreme conditions. So usefulness of bacteria, super useful to us. First of all, they decompose dead material and help recycle nutrients. Things rot a lot of times because of a combination of bacteria and fungi. Some use photosynthesis to produce oxygen in food. There are cyanobacteria, there are types of algae that are in the domain bacteria. And so a lot of photosynthesis going on with this domain. They're also food sources for microorganisms. In the background here is an amoeba, and amoeba eat bacteria. They also enrich the soil for plants. In fact, we found that many plants have a symbiotic relationship, a beneficial relationship with bacteria growing together with them in their roots. And they help humans digest food and make vitamins. We have bacteria in our gut that help us, again, to digest food and especially make vitamin K for us. So, our objectives were to compare contrast bacteria and archaea, recognize the important role that all organisms are given in God's world. So, bacteria are super important and they're not always harmful. So, don't forget your 5 questions and continue watching to answer the questions at the end of this video.